All right, folks. Can somebody fill me in? Did this XRP SEC versus Ripple lawsuit end? Is that what took place? I'm going to need some help from the chat here to fill me in on what exactly took place. Because despite the court filing being made, despite comments from John Deaton and Stuart Alderati and the team at Ripple, believe it or not, there's actually still some people that don't believe this is the official end of the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. They're telling me that the judge might not accept it. Now, if there was ever going to be brand new precedent for such a thing where both parties want to drop an appeal, want the case to end, but for some reason, the judge says, nope, you got to keep fighting it. You are forced to appeal this lawsuit. It would be the SEC versus Ripple case. No, all jokes aside, folks, it is official. The XRP SEC versus Ripple lawsuit is over. XRP, as a matter of law, is not a security, and this goes all the way back to July 13th, 2023. I figured it was a great night to wear our Brad Garlinghouse tattoo shirt. I hope that the XRP family is enjoying themselves out there. We are going to be celebrating tonight because, yes, it is official. Tell your friends, family, loved ones, and anybody else that you're concerned about that the train has left the station. It is picking up speed and chugging along, but we do have time to pull you on board, okay? But you're going to have to get a little bit of a running start, and you're going to have to take a little bit of a leap of faith. And we're going to reach out and we're going to pull you up on this train with us because it's moving. This locomotive is not going to be stopping anytime soon. We said it was coming. Here it is. The price action to follow. Please do not get left behind. And it's not just an XRP story, but I'll tell you what right now, this is the XRP bull run. People asking, hey, alt season might start here soon. At this point, as long as it's XRP season, I think we're going to bring everybody along with us as the entire market started to move back up, which you just love to see because it flies in the face of all the negativity, the slander, the lies, manipulation, disinformation that was sent our way. The fact that we get clarity, we get victory, and we bring up the rest of the space with us. And so, this is such an interesting moment in time here because everything's lining up perfectly. August is typically a dead month where traders are gone, Wall Street's on the yacht, and everybody takes August off. I'm about to go camping too. I'm about to go take a couple days off to go touch grass, get my feet in the maybe float down the river a little bit. And so I'm going to be, doing that this weekend as well too. But during this time, we have Ripple making another $200 million acquisition. This is now bringing their total to $3 billion of mergers and acquisitions that they've made. And really, they're all acquisitions essentially because they're just acquiring new entities and merging them into basically the infrastructure that they've already been building out. But folks, this is XRP hitting a new all-time high, closing off over 30 days above $3. Coming to a case conclusion, which was the next domino I told you guys was going to drop, right? We said the next one to fall, and it's going to be before next Friday, where, by the way, we're going to be having a crypto estate planning call with Mark Kohler next Friday, August 15th at 3 p.m. Eastern, exclusive for the Discord community, linked up down below. Get access through Patreon. Next Friday, we have that scheduled, and we had a court update that was due, a schedule update, an appeal update in the Second Circuit Court of Appeals for the SEC versus Ripple. So we were looking for the next week and a half to be that sweet spot where we would see a settlement agreement and both appeals being dropped by both parties. And that's exactly what we got delivered today. Now, I wanted to set the tone here real quick. Let me just check and make sure. Okay, we are live on TikTok. For the first time ever, I've actually done this before, but I'm trying to bring back TikTok Now I can multi-stream through Streamlabs over to TikTok. And so we're rolling vertical over on TikTok, and we got the horizontal feed for YouTube and X. We are streaming on all 3 platforms. We already ran up over 13,000 people in the live show earlier today when the news was breaking. And so let's run it back up here again tonight. Can everybody let me know how we're doing out here? Can you share it out far and wide after we tap it and smack it? XRP's back above 330. I tried to warn folks that it wasn't priced in. Now, is it a moonshot to 589 tomorrow? No, that's not what we expected. But we did expect momentum to start to pick up. A daily close above $3.30 today. You're going to be shocked when I show you how little of inflows we actually got. We didn't get hundreds of millions or billions of inflows into XRP to see that market cap grow over 20 billion once again. Over a 20-cent swing for XRP, 20 billion in market cap. And I'm going to show you the inflows. It's actually incredible. I'll give you a little secret. We actually had net outflows out of XRP today. Believe it or not, it's quite a phenomenon. But more people pulled US dollars out of XRP than actually put them in. But the reason why this happens, how is that possible, you might ask? It's because the buyers are so aggressive. They are bidding this sucker up. And we tried to tell folks, hey, don't wait for the news to hit. Don't wait for mainstream media or CNBC to tell you it's safe to invest. For crying out loud, when Jim Cramer puts out the tutorial to buy XRP, I will be taking a little bit of profit. Full disclosure. Right? Do not wait for the mainstream media to tell you now's the time to buy. And sure enough, that's what I did earlier this week. I added to my long at 301. I tried to add to my long on Coinbase at 272, which is where it went down to on the spot market. It's just the futures market only went down to 277. So I actually went to add to my XRP long at 272. We called the bottom perfectly, and then it starts to come back up. And I just had people as recent as today asking me, hey, you think it's going to pull back or go? And I just say, hey, we're leaning towards it's going to be moving higher. There was a chance, and we did backtest big support, but then we got the news that we were waiting for, and it's off to the races. You're in a brand new reality where do we get XRP below $3 once again? Ask yourself, let's ask the chat right now. Will we ever see XRP below $3 again? Will we ever see it below $2? I don't think so. Will we ever see it below $1? Absolutely not. Will we see it below 50 cents? Maybe in your dreams. It's gone. Goodbye. That is a reality that we no longer will get to participate in. And God bless all of you guys who did take advantage of that, who have been adding to your positions. Even for those of you that are late and are adding to your bags right now, you're not too late. Yeah, I thought I was late in 2018, 2019. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I wasted all this time in Bitcoin, started rolling all over to XRP in 2019, thinking that I was late. Fast forward here to 2025, even though it might feel like you're relatively speaking late to XRP and crypto, absolutely not. I just put out a tweet here as I was getting ready for tonight's live show. I said, can we onboard another 10 million users to the XRP ledger by the end of the year? How about that for a goal? We want to see activity for XRP, but what are we doing to onboard our friends, family, loved ones? And they didn't listen to you before because we were in a case. Well, that's no longer something that needs to be addressed. And if they do bring it up, you tell them it's over. Now, we had clarity for XRP back on July 13, 2023. Nobody paid attention. Nobody believed it. Oh, sure, yeah, you crazy XRP guys. Yeah. We don't got time for that. We're playing with memes. We only show Bitcoin. We're still trying to figure out Ethereum 2.0. Might have to do another merge. Still sucks, but we're going to figure it out one day. And they didn't want to hear it. July 13, 2023, we knew that XRP was not a security as a matter of law. President Trump was going to get elected second term. We knew who was going to send this thing. President Trump elected, and since that election day, XRP is blowing out every other crypto. It's just not even close. Not even close, unless you're in that basket of good utilities that we've been stacking as well. XLM, HBAR, XDC, etc. Yeah, I flip a couple meme coins once in a while too, but that's just to make more XRP. Our bag of utility is running this bull run, and we'll continue to see the inflows. They can try to suppress it. The last effort of suppression is the banks coming, begging and crying not to let Ripple have a trust charter bank. Absolutely embarrassing on their behalf. I mean, just embarrassing. What are you doing? The Community Bank Association of America, whatever they're called, and then the American Bankers Association, who Ripple speaks at and contributes to the ABA. And then the ABA comes out and says, can you give us a little time here to get things? Now, they didn't say that, but that's what they're trying to do. They cannot stop it, though. The last thing is the ETFs, and that is coming 100% by October. I told you here on this channel that this case was going to conclude this year 100%. People said I was crazy. It was never going to happen. When I started to talk about this date next week, August 15th, it's due. There's no reason to extend. So it's probably going to wrap up in the next week and a half. People said, shut down his channel, shut him up. He's wrong. This case is never going to be over. It's going to go till next year. And now, granted, I have sympathy for everybody in the community that just, thought, hey, something's going to happen. They're going to find a reason to delay. They've come through with a deal, a compromise here. Ripple has to pay the fine, but they get to go about their business with full clarity for XRP and their business, and they haven't been waiting around. Just like Stuart Alderati says here, it's just back to business as usual. I wanted to set the tone here real quick with a nice picture here of David Schwartz. That's David Schwartz at ETH Denver, riding around on the green scooter. Let me make sure you guys can see that picture right there. Let me make sure you guys can see that one. That's David Schwartz setting the tone for us tonight on the green scooter. Look at that big smile on his face. That beautiful hair flying back there. This is the mood that the XRP family's in tonight. We feel free. We have been completely set free. There is no more burden. There is no more storm over top of us. The only thing left to fall is the ETFs, and they're right around the corner. How about this one? Can somebody check on Charlie Gasparino? Can somebody please check on Charlie? Charlie, where are you? We're getting worried about you, my friend. Charlie, the case is dropped. Where are you? Charlie. Folks, let's rock. Let's roll. Hey, Stuart Alderati, following the commission's vote today, the SEC and Ripple formally filed directly with the Second Circuit to dismiss their appeals. The end. Now back to business. So for those that are telling me, no, it's not over yet, the judge still has to sign off on it. It's over. When you have two parties that are dropping their appeals, it's over. There's nothing for the judge to overturn or do or anything like that. It is done. Okay? And now I get it. Some folks are saying, well, Zach, they might pull something out. I know. I understand. But it is officially over. John Deaton says, as Jordan Deaton's lawyer, and more importantly, as her father, I approve this message. As amicus counsel on behalf of 75,000 XRP holders who may all not be named but were 100% an essential part of it all, I approve this message. And a huge shout out to James Phelan, too, for keeping us up to date throughout this entire lawsuit. 4.5 years. It is over. Now, I'm going to have to come up with something new because we will never be making another video that is about this XRP lawsuit ever again. The case is over. I'm going to have to come up with some new content. Back to the drawing board. Hey, I hope everybody's having a good time out there. We are still going to get to your comments and questions. I just had a few data points that I wanted to share with you guys, and then we'll get right on into it. I did see that some super chats came in. I want to give a shout out real quick to Shannon. I saw she showed up. Jason Frank, thank you. 589 August. So close. Yeah, we were so close to the 589 date. Yeah. David says, I can't say that, David. That's inappropriate. But hey, you guys, whatever you're doing in Thailand tonight, hey, wherever you are tonight, wherever you're at in the chat, may God be with you. May God protect you. And may you please behave yourself. XRP family, job's not finished, but let's be celebrating tonight. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Shannon comes in with the Canadian funny money. We love you. Our brothers and sisters up north. Shannon, thank you so much. She says, cheers, fam. Let's make it a good one for Zach. Shannon, just like the old times, huh? Don't make me fire up the playlist. Don't make me fire it up, huh? Nate Grossi, just today we get an executive order opening up 401k access. We get an executive order seeking to punish banks that discriminate against crypto companies. We get a crypto-friendly Stephen Moran nominated for Fed Board of Governors. and the SEC versus Ripple case is over. You have the administration and regulators moving fast. This is moving quick. Moving quick. I want to give a quick shout out to what I'm sipping on tonight is from my good friend Corey in our Discord group. Corey delivered this to me at the XRP Unleashed premiere down in LA. Had a good time down there in California, down there for the movie premiere. And so this is some Henry McKenna. I think it said age 10 years, something like that. This is some mighty fine bourbon that we got here. Mighty fine bourbon that we got tonight. God bless it. We're taking a night off from the cheap adult beverages and we got something nice, okay? Some top shelf. Nate, you know, these guys, this is the ETF expert, and he's been calling for BlackRock all along, just like we have. He says, yes, I think that BlackRock was waiting to see this before filing for iShares XRP ETF. I'll own it if I'm wrong, but in my opinion, it makes zero sense for them to ignore crypto assets beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum. Otherwise, they're basically saying Bitcoin and ETH are the only ones that will ever have value. Bold. No. Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. They know exactly what XRP's up to. Robbie Mitchnick leaving Ripple to go be head of digital assets and help Larry Fink see the light. Cryptocurrencies are going to transcend traditional currencies. That's a direct quote from the CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, 10 trillion assets under management. There ain't a chance that they let this opportunity pass them by. Absolutely not. In fact, I just spoke with somebody who used to work at BlackRock last month in a one-on-one call. And yeah, we got the inside scoop. Ain't no way they missed this one. Not a chance. And everybody's going to be pumping this one, by the way. Gemini, calling the XRP army. We're giving away 305 XRP valued at over $1,000 to one person on X to celebrate the future of finance. The winner will be selected and notified on August 8th. Like this post and follow to enter. Now, the reason why I wanted to share this with you guys, not because I have any relationship. I've never used Gemini ever. And this is cool that they're doing that. And that's the point that I want to get across, is that everybody's going to be pumping and selling XRP now. But on the flip side, the scammers are going to be working around the clock to get at your XRP. Now, I just put out another disclaimer. In fact, I'm going to pull it up real quick just to read it off and remind everybody real quick, because I am so sick of getting the stories of people getting their bags taken from them. It disgusts me. These people are sick and evil, but they're not going to stop. And so we got to continue applying pressure, staying vigilant. And here's the warning that I delivered earlier today on Twitter. With the recent news and XRP hype, just remember that the scammers are going to be working overtime to get at your crypto. You will not receive a friend request or DM from me first in the Discord group. I will wait for your friend request and DM, and then I will add you back. That way we can set up that direct line of communication. You send me a friend request and DM once you get into our Discord group. And then I will never trade for you or direct you to move crypto ever. We do not accept crypto for any of our services, merch, etc. Patreon, one-on-one calls, merch, you name it. We do not accept crypto at all. I will never direct you to move crypto ever. I do not use WhatsApp. I will never direct you to move crypto. I will never ask you how your trading is going. Not because I don't care, because that's how the scammers reach out to you. The only place that I talk about trading is in the trading channel in my Discord group. That's where I update them in real time every time I make a move. I let the Discord group know. Only place that I talk about it. I will never ask you how your trading is going in a direct message, ever. I will never ask you about the Flare airdrop. I will never offer copy trading. I will never ask about a QFS wallet. Please stay safe out there, please. XRP's pumping. All eyes are on XRP right now as we continue to go viral. Everybody and their brother wants a piece of the action, not just from the crypto exchanges, but now Wall Street showing up with slideshow presentations in their slick suits to sell you. And I say, let them come on in and let them sell it for us. I can sit back and enjoy the show while the suits sell it with their slideshow presentations, right? My job's finished. And that's what's happening right now. Everybody and their brother, including the scammers, are coming for you, the XRP community. So please stay safe. Now, here's the dirty little secret digital asset investor, says that these 401k plans will allocate to the large caps in a responsible way, similar to how Bitwise does lock in. And he's talking about the Bitwise. This is the top 10 little index fund that they're looking to create. Bitcoin 74% allocation, 15% or 14.5% in Ethereum, and 5.8% in XRP. I wonder if that's 5.89% in XRP. Nice. 3% in Solana, and a little distribution across another few cryptos there. But they should have allocated more to XRP. And as you can see, when it comes time to really get the deal done, XRP is included every single time, and the inflows that are going to come are going to be tremendous. Now that we've unlocked the 401ks, here's what happens if you just get 10% of the 8 trillion 401k market. You're at 800 billion of inflows into 401k, into crypto. Just 10% of that 401k money brings us in 800 billion in inflows. And I'm going to show you here shortly what 40 million in inflows does for XRP. 40 million with an M, like M's in the bank account. Yeah, that's all we had in inflows today. We didn't have billions. We didn't have hundreds of millions. Just tens of millions, enough to pump XRP up. Now, Tony Valentino, this is what we have loading and what we've already accomplished. XRP mentioned by Trump, yes, first crypto to be included in the crypto strategic stockpile. Pro crypto SEC chair, check. Paul Atkins is in, activated. We're going to tokenize everything. Stablecoin regulation, check. RLUSD rapidly growing. SEC case resolution done. BlackRock XRP ETF, that comes next. XRP mentioned by Musk might not happen for a while. He might be under NDA. $100 XRP, that's inevitable. I can't give you a date, but I can tell you it's coming. 100%. $100 XRP. Do we have any takers? $100 XRP. How about a $50 silver? It's coming. $4,000 per ounce gold. Now, what's interesting is that gold did break up to a new all-time high of $3,500 per ounce today. XRP, gold, how you doing? And $19,000 Bitcoin, he says. Uh-oh. And so the beautiful thing here, as I continue to demonstrate with you guys with these inflows, we have seen nothing yet. And I have heard back from so many people who tell me, and this is exactly how I felt as well too, this market cap multiplier understanding really demonstrated and showed me with hard data how easy it's going to be to get XRP to these higher prices. Before, and you still see this today, people pull, excuse my French real quick, but you see people pull numbers out of their ass every single day with no real analysis behind that. We started to put some data behind it, and we started to quantify what it would take in inflows to get XRP at a $10, $20, $30, $100 price. And I mean, long story short, to simplify this data for you, my conservative assumptions and speculation is that if we saw 50 to 150 billion of inflows into XRP, net inflows, we would see a $100 XRP, maybe even a lot more. But my conservative estimate is that if we saw just 50 billion to 150 billion in net inflows into XRP, we're at a $100 XRP price, maybe more. And so I continue to bring this up because so many new people still need to figure out what this is, this market cap multiplier. But the basics of it is simply looking at the inflows versus how much the market cap of the asset moves to give us a market cap multiplier. Basically, what multiplier do we put on the inflows to determine how high the price is going to go up? And there's many people that have been confused and misled to believe for XRP to go to $100, it would be a $5 trillion market cap, and we would need to see $5 trillion come into XRP. It's not even close. The conservative multiplier that we're seeing for XRP is anywhere between 50 and 150. I took a 1 month snapshot over 30 days of data. I think 28 or 30 days of data. I think it was over 30 days. Basically from the November election through the beginning of December. That snapshot, the average was over 100. I think it was 140, 150. And we continue to see time and time again here that this multiplier is just dramatic. And I'm going to show you that right now before I get to your guys' comments and questions. This is the last data point I'm going to show you, and then we're going to celebrate and have a little bit of Q&A. Chad Steingraber grabbing the data for us. XRP bust through 330 over 332, jumping 22 cents in a couple hours, a market cap of 22 billion, full supply, on a total of 42.38 million in net inflows. Are you ready? Are you ready to watch that money pour in, folks? Check it out. Here's the simple math for you guys. 22 billion divided by 42.38 million. That's the number. That's the equation. 22 billion of market cap growth divided by 42.38 million of inflows. Almost a 589x multiplier, but 519. How about that? Not too bad. Way above 50 and way above what we see in the traditional stock market. And that's why these guys are going to get left behind, is because they're going to get a little bag of it. They're going to buy XRP late at $4 and $5, and then they're going to flip it at $10. Because at $10, what's the market cap? It's just shy of $1 trillion. I think it, I forget the number. I used to have the numbers in front of me. Now I'm forgetting them. I think, no, $8 to $10, we'd be at 400 or 500 billion in market cap, I believe. And so, you know, what these guys are going to do is they're going to come in late to XRP, and then it's going to go up, and they're going to say, wow, this thing's at a $500 billion market cap. How could this be? There's no way, no reason why it should be up at this valuation. This is more valuable than all these, you know, other prominent companies. The only companies more valuable at that level would be, you know, the Magnificent Seven, really. And they say, there's no way that this should be taking place. This is impossible. And a lot of these guys are going to sell off their bags too soon. And it won't be like me and you and some of you guys in the channel, some of you guys in the chat that have a bag of XRP. You know, we're going to sell off a little bag, but we still have a lot. These guys are going to full clip their bag. They're going to buy in late off of FOMO. Oh, now it's safe. CNBC's telling me that the lawsuit's over. Okay, now I can come in. And so they're going to come in at $4 and $5, and then they'll sell off at 10. They'll get out completely, and they'll completely miss another, you know, doubling up all the way to 20 and maybe even $30 for this bull run is where I could easily see us going to with ease. And that's based off of just seeing 5 to 10 billion in inflows, which is exactly in line with JP Morgan at 4 to 8 billion. They predict 4 to 8. I say 10 plus. And 10 to 20 billion, you're talking, yeah, 20, 30 with ease, probably more. And as XRP does become a bigger asset, this multiplier will not be as dramatic. But because it's so small, that is why, and because these order books are so thin, and because the amount of XRP on exchanges is so little, this is why that multiplier is so dramatic. And I'm going to show you one thing. This is just incredible to me. When I look at this, the inflows, it's incredible. We had a very bullish day where the market cap grew by 20 billion. Full supply. And I should note that that's Chad Steingraber. That's a 22 billion in market cap growth with a 100 billion circulating supply. So he's using the total supply, not the circulating supply. He's using the total supply. But what's interesting about that is XRP is the only asset where they consider the supply that's held by Ripple in the escrow as not circulating, even though when you look at other ecosystems, the crypto that's in their treasury is all included in the circulating supply. So it's another form of suppression against XRP, because our market cap would be, you know, almost twice as much, because the circulating supply is only what, 59 billion, and the real number should be over 99 billion, because technically the XRP that's in the escrow is circulating. It's just in a time-locked escrow. For example, I'll give you a simple example to explain this. Anybody could put their XRP in escrow. If you or me put our XRP in escrow, it would still be considered circulating. Nobody would say, oh, Zach put 589 XRP in an escrow that doesn't release till next year, so we need to remove that from circulating supply. Nobody's checking to see who's locking up XRP in escrow and then removing that from the circulating supply, except for the supply held by Ripple. It's another form of manipulation and suppression against XRP, because really the full supply is circulating. But it's neither here nor there. It's okay. Let them manipulate the data. Let them spin their story however they want. But what's incredible is when you look at the inflows here, check out this data point. This is truly incredible. When you look right here, August 7th, 2025 inflows, this is actually our net flow, is negative 17.31 million. XRP price went up to 330, closed off the day at 330. The net flow was negative 17 million. This tells us that August 7th, the candle closes at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, which is midnight UTC, Universal Time Code. Yes, crypto goes 24/7, but for the effect of charting and calculating daily price movements and inflows, we cut it off at Universal Midnight Time, UTC, which is 8 p.m. Eastern, which is 5 p.m. Pacific. The day that just ended today, more money, 17 million more dollars came out of XRP than came in. And you asking yourself, well, how the heck did the price go up? The velocity and aggressiveness of those buyers bidding up that chart is why it was still able to go up by over 20 cents and grow by over a 20 billion market cap. Is because those buyers are coming in so aggressive and they're hitting market order buys on that exchange. And so that exchange is taking in the orders. Okay, you have $10,000. Here's your, I understand you see this market price, but we're going to have to hit you with a little bit of spread, a little bit of slippage, so that we can tuck a little extra money in our pocket. And I've been warning you about these exchanges that are going to kill you on slippage and spreads. And then you're going to go to pull out some money and they're going to say, oh, by the way, we got a withdrawal fee. Oh, you have $1 million to pull out? Well, unfortunately, your withdrawal limit's $25,000 per day. Ain't got to worry about any of that when you're over at Caleb and Brown, which is why I've been sending my XRP over there. I'm just saying, it's just a community resource I want to make folks aware of, because these other exchanges are going to kill you on the spreads and the slippage. And that's why that price is getting bid up so high. You go and you say, okay, market price, the market price right now, the spot price is 330. I mean, it's the same thing when you go to buy precious metals, you get hit with a little bit of a premium, right? The spot price of silver right now, I haven't checked. It's $35 per ounce, over $30 per ounce, somewhere there. You're going to pay a few bucks over spot. And that's the premium. The exchanges are going to do the same thing to you. And so when the exchanges have a lineup of people that are ready to hit market buy, or when it happens like this, everybody's hitting market buy at the same time, they get to fill up the buy side of their order book with all this US dollar, USDT, USDC, whatever they're pairing up XRP against. And then they get to offload all of this XRP. Now, some of that XRP is coming from limit orders placed by their other users. And some of it's going to be filled up by market orders of people hitting market sell XRP. And then these exchanges also have an additional supply of XRP as well. But what happens is, and people have been asking me lately, Zach, why is there a difference in price between Coinbase and Uphold and Caleb and Brown? It's because each exchange or platform has their own order book, which is why I like working with a brokerage that can tap into multiple venues for liquidity. When you go to the Coinbase order book, that's it. Coinbase doesn't get a pull from other exchanges. Coinbase only has so many buyers and so many sellers on each side. And so that is how it is possible. The other thing that's not included in this multiplier that does impact is the futures. So as the futures in the longs get, basically people have to cover the shorts and they have to buy, if these are, going to be paired up with XRP, these futures contracts, they have to go cover the shorts. And so that also bids it up as well too. That's something that's not included in this equation, but it definitely is another factor. And the point being, right, this is how such little in inflows is going to have such a dramatic price on XRP to drive us to these double-digit prices that so many people in the cryptocurrency space don't believe possible. It's 1,000% possible. In fact, I would argue that it's 1,000% inevitable. Now, with that being said, I want to open it up for comments and questions and a celebration. I hope everybody is having yourselves a good time out there tonight. Let's get it rocking and rolling. We've already been live here for 35 minutes, and so I hope that everybody is caught up to speed on what has happened so far. Let's get you caught up on the rest. Open it up for comments and questions. Vibe check. How's the community doing out there? Cheers, everybody. Jason says, see you at Ripple Swell. Hopefully. I did apply, and I did message somebody from Ripple. I said, hey, can you give me a good word, you know? Give him a little nudge. So we'll see. We will see about Ripple Swell in New York. I'm really hoping that me and the wife can come on out. And I've never been to New York. I've never been to the East Coast at all. So I'm really hoping that we'll be attending Ripple Swell conference. It's going to be a dang good time. Yeah. Dennis, 2-spot. Thank you. Perseverance pays off. Not too late. Do it. Jump. And that's what's going to happen. That's the thing about FOMO sellers, is how quickly they turn into FOMO buyers. These same people that get all emotional. Oh, I'm done with XRP. I'm out. And then boom. You know, I saw somebody today, pretty well-known XRP content creator. I don't want to call him out, but you got to call him out because this is just stupid. And when I saw the tweet, I said, what the heck are we doing, my friend? Brother in Christ, what are you doing? A guy that I know said he sold his entire bag of XRP for Proton today. Today. What? Why? Why would we be doing such a thing? You do you. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for the Proton boys. Proton boys. You can clip this up and say, yes, go Proton. I'm rooting for you. But what the heck are we doing out here? You know? And so just as quickly as these guys dump their bags, they're going to be coming back. These FOMO sellers turn into FOMO buyers just as quickly. They're going to be rushing on back. Can you imagine? Full porting from the XRP to Proton? Goodness gracious. A moment of silence. Should we pour one out? I've got to leave. Got to pour one out for my guy. Chosen one. The case is ending. BlackRock ETF soon. 100%. 100%. There's no way that BlackRock misses this. Yep. Drew, thank you. What is ETFs and what will it do for XRP? Exchange traded funds. It's how Wall Street sells you products, financial products and instruments. And so, yeah, there's already Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. XRP ETFs are on the way. 100% by October. Please lock in with us. Corey, thank you for the 10 spot. Appreciate it. Thomas, thank you for the 20. Zach, you might like to mention Deaton's work on Link2. He is an XRP Army hero. Thanks for the news tonight. Yeah. So for the folks that missed it, I actually had Digital Asset Investor, who really never does interviews. I was just telling those guys, DAI and Brad Kimes, I said, man, I've been wanting to get you guys on my show forever. I just wish it was under different circumstances. But we had him on to discuss this whole Link2 fiasco. And I think a lot of people threw shade on these guys, like, oh, these guys must have known, you know, this is a Ponzi scheme, all this stuff. One, it's not a Ponzi scheme. And two, these guys were just trying to buy Uphold equity as late, just as recent as December. And then Kimes was saying that he was trying to buy in January or February, but they had let their license lapse in the state that he resides in. So he was looking to buy, and DAI, he actually bought Uphold equity in December. So these guys were trying all the way up until the very end. They were completely left in the dark. And I think it's just unfortunate because, yeah, it's an absolute fiasco. And I could probably use some other vulgar terms to describe it. The private equity profiteers are trying to take your equity. That's what this is. You know, and it's a very unfortunate case, and I feel bad for everybody involved, but I wanted to give these guys a chance to come on the show and explain what the heck happened and, you know, what's going on. And so it was nice to get that perspective from them, because I asked them straight up, you know, were you aware of anything going on here? You know, you guys got to meet, you know, these guys and kind of see what was going on a little bit. Did you see anything? These guys said, no, we literally just tried buying earlier this year. And DAI told me that he bought Uphold just in December. These guys have multiple six figures on the platform. And so I wanted to give them the opportunity to come on and explain that deal. And then John Deaton, obviously, the opportunity to update on what he's been up to. And I'm so glad that we get to put away the red folder for now. I'm so glad that we get to put this behind us. And the last case remaining is going to be the Link 2 case. So I'm glad to see that John's making a move. Other people are making moves. The motion to change venue did get denied. I'm having flashbacks of listening in on the Ripple case where I was calling in. I was calling into the Link 2 court proceeding that took place earlier. That was a few days ago. And I'm having flashbacks of calling in. And you guys remember we were breaking the phones. We filled up too many spots calling into the court proceeding for the Ripple case that basically we were capped out. And then we had them up it to like 5,000 people could call in, and then we capped it out again. That's the power of the XRP family. And to the private equity profiteers who think that they're going to take this equity from us without us putting up a fight, have really underestimated the XRP family. Have really underestimated us. So yeah. Now, yeah, we'll keep you guys updated on that. And yes, Stu, Caleb and Brown is now in Florida. Love to see that. Love to see that. We got to secure them in the United States. Make sure they stay safe over here. You never know what Australia has cooking up over there. Absolutely. I just wish that we could get some coverage for Canada, our brothers and sisters up north, and then our folks across the pond in the UK. I wish we could help you out. Your country's gone mad. It's just an unfortunate deal. Not only can you not get access to Caleb and Brown, you also can't go walk up in the woods in Nova Scotia. Don't get me started. God bless. We're praying for you guys up north, okay? Now, somebody says, please let Claver win his $750 XRP December bet from your, well, I would say from your lips, but from your keyboard to God's ears, let it be. Let the pump be with us. Send that sucker. Yeah, if you guys are looking for info on Caleb and Brown, they're linked up down below. Yeah, let them know. We got absolute priority over there right now. Absolute priority. Okay, so you just let them know that I sent you. They'll put you to the top of the list. Okay. JVDM, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Zach, can you push Caleb and Brown to add Sologenic for the winning trifecta? Cheers, good work, mate. Yeah, I'll let him know. I'd like to see him get DAG listed. I'd like to see him get Sologenic and just have full integration with the XRP ledger. I talked about this with Jim about getting integration for the AMM and everything. And so I'm excited to see they are totally on board. They just said, you know, basically we want to let the DeFi roll out, give ourselves some options, but eventually you would have full capability. It sounds like they're going to be ready to integrate DeFi for your XRP holdings as well too. It's just a matter of making sure that they stay secure while that's taking place as well too. So that's the big thing. But yeah, I'll tell Jim, I'll tell Jake that we need to get Sologenic listed. Yeah, I'm very bullish on Sologenic. It's a big one. It's time to respect the pump, Bully, 100%. Thank you for the super chat. TK, thank you. Cheers to you, Zach. Glad to be sipping on some good stuff with you. We've been here for a while, and now we celebrate for the win today and for what's coming next. Appreciate you, Zach. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Okay. 1970 Legend comes in with a massive 300 spot. God bless you, brother. Let's add some dog tags to those hats next week and keep some for yourself. It's a happy day in the neighborhood. Be vigilant for scammers. God bless you, my friend. God bless you. Okay, so we're going to have our new hats on the website by next week. And so for next week's live, yeah, and I'll throw some in on top of that too, legend. Yeah, we'll make it a party next week. Hats and dog tags. Yep, let's run it up next week. Sounds good to me. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, gonna be a big one. Make sure you guys subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thank you so much. Now, Dennis. Rick Edelman manages 287 billion corporate 401ks, says the 60-40 portfolios are done, recommends 10 to 40% in crypto out of 287 billion. Do the multiplier on that. Yeah, and that's what I said in regards to the 401ks. It's a great point, Dennis. I mentioned it earlier in the video, in the live show earlier today, that with the 401ks being unlocked, I'm hearing ranges between 8 and 12 trillion. I don't know the total number that is available in the 401ks, but that's exactly what I said, is that Rick Edelman is advising people to do 10 to 40% allocation. So we did the math. If it's an $8 trillion market and we get 10%, that's 800 billion. But I mean, you get 40, I mean, you're talking about trillions of dollars. Trillions are coming from the 401ks. Trillions of inflows. And so you put the multiplier on the trillions and you're having yourself a good time. That's what that math equals to. I'll let you know. I'll let you in on that one right now. When you put a conservative 50x multiplier on 1 to 2 trillion coming into this space, you're having yourself a good time as long as you own these assets. Yes. Chosen One Collecting. Do you offer military discount? Could you sign my hat if I order one? I can. Yeah. If you want me to sign your hat, when you order, just put it in the notes or send a follow-up email to merch@zachrector.com. And I can sign some hats. I can sign whatever you would wish for. Yeah. But just send us a note. When you place your order, there should be a box available for you to do so. And then if not, just send us a follow-up email, merch@zachrector.com, for any inquiries or issues or concerns or where's my order at, merch@zachrector.com. And no matter what the issue is, we will get you taken care of. Okay, that's all we're here to do, is to spread the XRP family, to get everybody, loaded up on the merch, to represent the family. So let us know. We've had some crazy stuff happening, shipping into Canada. Canada's giving us hell. We're getting packages to Australia and the UK before we're getting it to Canada. It's crazy. So some stuff's happening with the Postal Service. We get our orders out in less than 48 hours almost every single time. So when you place an order, just assume that in 48 hours it has been sent out. Check your spam folder if you didn't get the notification on your tracking number. And then follow up, and we'll make sure that you're taken care of no matter what the issue may be. Okay? Thank you. Thank you for all your support, guys. As far as military discount, I cannot offer that. There's no technical way I really can figure out how to do that on the website. I currently don't. But if you do sign up for Patreon right now, you can take advantage. If you sign up for 1 year in advance, you save 10% on your membership. So that could be a big discount. And I would also add, talk to your accountant about potentially being able to write off your Discord. I'm not here to give you tax advice, but if it's part of your business and your investments, you may have the eligibility to actually include this as a business expense if it relates to your business, which it will, because we talk about business content. We talk about tax lieu. I mean, just next week with Mark Kohler, we'll have a crypto estate planning, but we'll also be talking taxes, legal entities, etc. And so that's why I say talk with your accountant about being able to write off that cost completely and take advantage of the 10% if you sign up for a 1 year in advance. Yeah. A-Prod, thank you for the 5 spot. Congrats, XRP Army. Smart XRP escrow is coming up as an amendment. Very bullish, yes. Now let's talk about XLM as well. We need it to pump as well. How is XLM doing? By the way, I haven't even checked the XRP price. 334? Did Asia wake up? Australia, what time is it in Australia right now? Are the Aussies having dinner? Is that what time it is in Australia? Look at that, folks. Where are we at? Less than 20% to get to my $4 target. We have just a few days left to do it. I said it's done by August 12th. What do you think, XRP family? And coming up on Saturday, August 9th, that's gonna be your full moon. We said it's gonna come. That's why we have the vertical line on the chart. I don't believe in the moon and the stars and all that nonsense. I don't do the horoscopes. I don't do it. I don't play around with any of it. But for whatever reason, that indicator on the chart has let us know when the vibe's gonna shift. I don't know. I don't spend time getting woo-woo. I let the wife handle that, and then she tells me what to do. Is it time to clean the house? Okay, well, let's clean the house. Is it time to do a prayer? I do a prayer every day. Is it time to look at the moon? Let's look at the moon. I don't know. I downplay it, but our analysis has just been spot on. And that XRP long that I told you, I doubled up and tripled up and quadrupled up and got another bag and added to it and tried to add more at 272. Yeah, that sucker's back in big profit. My biggest XRP long position yet. Big profit. Yep. 334.5 XRP family. Please lock in with us. We're not done. Let me zoom out. Show you the big targets. Hey, how are we doing? Look at this. Only 115% to go to hit my target. Oh, I got to adjust that actually. Only 110%. 110% for XRP. And we're at my $7 target. $7. I think it's coming by September 7th. And now remember, the reason why I got this fifth vertical line on our chart right here, this is not a moon phase. This is not a full moon. That's what this is right here. Full moon lunar eclipse, September 7th. Big month of September. And then what we have right here is the next Fed meeting and interest rate decision on September 17th. So I told you guys we have three catalysts. SEC and Ripple are going to drop their appeals. Done. Next, the rally is going to start. The rate cut rally has begun. I mean, I titled my video that a couple days ago. As soon as we started to get the market expectations went from 10% chance of rate cut to 80% to 90%, the market's pricing in a rate cut coming in September. And Goldman Sachs came out and said we'll get 3 rate cuts starting in September, 25 basis points each. SEC versus Ripple drop their appeals? Check. Rate cut rally starts? Check. XRP ETFs go live. It's inevitable by October. It's inevitable by October. 100% by October. So you can invest in what you know is inevitable, or, like the masses like to do, let's wait till CNBC tells us it's okay. Let's wait till my financial advisor tells me we can make a little, allocation to crypto. It's okay now. We can invest 1% into crypto. And there's a new little crypto I've just discovered called XRP. And you tell them, thank you very much. I'm very happy that we can now make a 401k allocation, but I want to lean more towards the Rick Edelman's side of things with the 40% allocation. Thank you very much. Ding. Or if you're a real XRP Chad, you say, yeah, can we roll it all? Can we roll? Yeah, let's go 80% XRP. Somebody said, let's mention XLM. Let's do it. APROD. Shout out XLM. I meant to check how high XLM has gone here. And see, the whole market's moving back up now. XLM here, 45 cents. 45 cents for XLM. Not bad at all. Now, Ethereum is down. Okay, so it did have a little green candle came in for Ethereum. Let me show you guys. Ethereum had a nice little move here. Okay, nice little pop, pushing back up. We bring up the whole space with us. This is just what we do in the XRP family. We put the whole crypto space on our back. We say, come along. Bitcoin, nice little pop back above 117,000. Okay. Flare, catching up, lagging. When F assets, Hugo, let's go. XDC, what the heck? Red candles coming in on XDC, no action. No action on XDC. It's the XRP Bullrun. Algo did a little pop up here to 26 cents. SHX, there you go. Back up today. I have made my full exit out of this position. Nice. Solana, how you doing? Still dead, still lagging. Still a great time to full port to the XRP ledger for you degens over in the Solana ecosystem. Okay? Let's cleanse your soul. Let's make you pure once again by allowing you to full port to the XRP ledger. You got to ask God for forgiveness. You full port over to the XRP ledger, we'll forgive you for your sins. Dogecoin, a little pop for Doge, a little up to 22 cents. Okay. Bitcoin dominance breaking down, though. This is great. Here's your alt season. Here's your alt season indicator. Now, we need to break this 60%. This has been the big level of support here. Need to break it. H-bar. Not much. This really was an XRP. I mean, everything else turned green, but it really was XRP that popped off here. XRP's market cap chart. Look at that pop. Look at that. And that's where we're going. 400 billion market cap. Yep. Right now we're only 119% away. Not a big deal. Like I said, that's a $7 XRP, by the way. That's a $7 XRP. Easily done. Easily done. Please lock in with us on that one. DAG. I'm really bullish on this one. Did get a nice little pop, but it's still recovering from the drawdown. So the big momentum right now has been for XRP. ZBCN still over half a penny. Look at that new level of support up there. Gosh, if only some Joe Blow had told you back in April that Zabecki was going to go over half a penny. If only some Joe Blow had dropped 2 videos saying that Zabecki was going to half a penny back in April. Cheers to everybody who made a boatload of money on that play. We stacked up some M's in the bank account on that one for sure. Now, let me catch up on Super Chats. Dark Rider, thank you for the 10 spot. Hey, Zach, I'm going to meet my broker from Caleb & Brown in 2 weeks to know who I'm dealing with. Very excited for that. I squeezed the mini vacation too to Florida. Great reason to go to Florida. When I go to Florida, I will be seeing their offices in Fort Lauderdale. And just so glad that they've set up the entity in the United States. So basically, if you're a U.S. client of Caleb & Brown, you're now under the jurisdiction, but you're within the legal entity that they've established in the United States. And between that and Fireblocks, you don't have any exposure to Australia at all. So you're all good now on that. Yeah. Xtina, Renee, thank you for the 10 spot. Thank you. Eyork, thank you. Zach, when does the XRP pass Ethereum? Need $8 XRP to catch ETH's current market cap, and Bitcoin need $40 versus Bitcoin's current market cap. Yeah, so great questions. Like I said, I think that we see a $7 to $15 XRP by September 7th. I think that by the end of the year, we will have flipped Ethereum. By the end of the year, we'll have flipped Ethereum. Yeah. Second act, thank you for that big $79.99 in Australia. As we say in Australia, I'm a happy little Vegemite. What is that? Please tell me you didn't just make me swear in Australia or something like that. I mean, you guys speak the same English, I guess, but maybe a little different. You crazy Aussies over there. What is that? Vegemite? Am I saying that right? How do you know if you're in the Caleb and Brown stateside? Everybody that's a U.S. client, is under that entity now. From my understanding, I mean, I can double check with the team, but from my understanding, every U.S. client is under that entity. I think that Arthur Brito knew something. That one tweet, yeah. Arthur Brito comes out and tweets on what was that, June 22nd or June 23rd, when XRP was at $1.90. Yeah. A-Prod, thank you for the 5 spot. Bank coin forever. But you might want to look at BitTensor, Tao. Bitcoin Max, you won't like what's coming. Is that one of the, no. BitTensor, I think I did look that up. I don't think that I liked it. But I don't like a lot of crypto, so, we'll see. Now, is that an AI play? Because some people on my Discord group had asked me about a few AI coins, and I went through all of them, and I went through why I'm not making an allocation to them right now. You're young, it's men at work. Oh, it's Vegemite. Laying Down Under. I love that song, but I've never even heard that phrase. Vegemite. To the Vegemites in the chat, whatever the heck that is, I didn't know that a Joey's a baby kangaroo until this Joey wallet and Joey meme coin came about. I'm like, oh, this is a cute meme. Let me buy this. But apparently, I never knew that that's what you nicknamed, or that's what they call a baby kangaroo, is a Joey. Yeah, and we're trying to be the mother kangaroo and try to, round up everybody to get in here on XRP. Round them up. Petro Pro, thank you for the 5 spot. How cool is it? Full moon today too. XRP $4 by Friday. Yes. Yep. Like I said, I just use the indicator on my chart. If the moon's full, I look up at it and I say, oh, wow, that's beautiful. The crazies are probably out tonight. You know what I'm saying? I don't spend much time. I used to do more time decoding and riddling and stuff like that. I used to spend way more time in the conspiracies. I just got to a point where I said, I got a good understanding. I've gone down a few rabbit holes that I wish I didn't go down. Yeah, some of you guys probably been there too. And you get to a point where you just say, okay, we were right. We were right about everything, basically. But how do I position myself financially and mentally and spiritually? Because it can weigh you down if you don't translate it into effective action. I've always used the example of, it's one thing to be able to tell your buddies around the bonfire about the conspiracy theory. It's another thing to be able to tell them that you're profiting from it. So that's kind of where I've been at lately. I used to spend more time in the riddles, but I only spend time riddling around to the effect that it helps me make a decision when it comes to understanding price action. Right, when it comes to understanding what events might be around the corner, when it comes to understanding energy shifts, that's the only valuation that I really put on that. ETH next target, tell me, bro, please. You just have so many bag holders on Ethereum. It's the unfortunate part for those of you guys that are in it. I'll go to the Ethereum chart right now and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This thing just has a massive resistance forming up here. You can go back so far on Ethereum and see that it's really lagging. And mind you, there's no max supply either. So the all-time high for ETH, is up here at 4,800, just shy of 5,000 back in 2021. But, we have a triple tap. Now, normally you don't see something, if you're going to hit, and basically you already have 3 taps right here, pretty close to 4,000. Now, I guess this would be the official move to 4,000 right here, because you fell short on this one. So this would be 1, 2, 3. This would be our third stab at 4,000 in this cycle. So typically you would see. I mean, we were looking at this for gold. Do you remember the triple top for gold? And after it formed that triple top, I said, guys, this thing's about to bust. This thing's about to break. And that was at $2,050 per ounce. It went up to $2,040, $2,050, $2,080. And then once it did break, well, now we're over $3,500 per ounce. Gold is up 43% on the year, double the S&P 500. So ETH has big resistance to break through at 4. The all-time high is just shy of 5. You're going to meet more sellers there. If I held ETH, I wouldn't be waiting for a $10,000 ETH. You got these guys like Tom Lee coming out here and calling for a $15,000 ETH this cycle. You got hedge fund guys that are desperately holding their bags, looking to pump it up. This guy called for $1 million Ethereum. I don't know if that was by 2030 or if that was this cycle, but either way, that's just ridiculous. $1 million ETH. I don't know what planet you're living on. I don't think that we see a $10,000 ETH this cycle. I'm sorry. I wish that we were, because I know a lot of people are holding ETH. I just don't see it. Greg, thank you for the 10 spot. Hey, Zach, thanks for all you do. Where and how does one loan against their XRP so I don't have to sell any? So there are some people that have come out with some loans here recently. I know that there's been a few platforms that have been around for a while, and people have been sending me some new ones that have come about here. Right now, the terms are not that attractive. And so, you know, I wouldn't be able to send you anywhere. I do know that Jake Claver, Digital Wealth Partners, they've got somebody who can provide you some loans. I believe he's been saying that they're at 13 to 16%, and the terms are up to 1 year on that. So 1 year loan, 13 to 16%. You got to have a really good place to put that money if that's what you're going to do. But that should come down as interest rates come down and that gets more competitive. And so that's one place that I know of. I know that Nexo is providing yield on XRP. I don't think that they provide loans. I wouldn't be able to refer you to anybody that's really set up to do institutional DeFi or institutional level loans at this point. But that's going to be coming right around the corner. That's going to be coming. And you have people that are working as fast as possible to bring these products to us. And this is what I say. This is so great. You know, we get to sit back in our chair. We get to enjoy ourselves while all these guys get to come forward with their program, with their offering, with their DeFi, with their centralized financial offering, with their loan programs. But let them come to us and let those terms get a little bit more favorable. Because like I said, I would hate to see folks get liquidated of their position and having that loan call due or not be able to pay back that loan. Because once again, if you're taking a loan out on a 12-month term at 16% interest, you need to be making 16% on that money in a 1 year time period. Not everybody can do that. Now, with the right person, the right deal, sure. It's more risk than I would like to take on with my XRP at this point in time, you know. And that's why I'm selling some of my XRP too, is because I don't believe that the loan products will be established. I don't think that the DeFi is going to be established to the point where I would be able to put up enough XRP that I'm comfortable with to make a difference. For example, yeah, Flare's coming out. Yes, I'm watching what Digital Wealth Partners is doing. I see Nexo, Binance, some of these other exchanges will give you 1 or 2% on your XRP, right? But if you're not comfortable giving them 50,000 or 100,000 XRP, what are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? So you have to be comfortable enough to give them enough collateral that the yield or the dividend, the interest that they're going to be paying you back is worth it. I mean, sure, when Flare comes out, I'll throw 1,000 XRP over there just to try it out and tell you guys how I lost money or how I made money, hopefully. I don't know when Flare FSets are going to come. They were supposed to be this year. Hopefully they're this year. When they do go live, I'll sacrifice some XRP. I'll send it to them and we'll see what they can do with it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not sending 100,000 to Flare as soon as it goes live. I'm not sending 100,000 XRP to Nexo to earn 8% or whatever they're offering. I can't even use these platforms, Nexo, Binance, etc. So I'm just sitting back You know what I'm saying? Let these guys come to us. Let the interest rates come back down. Let them come. And the Clarity Act will provide more regulations around this DeFi too, which also will make me more comfortable. But because none of that's going to be established by the end of this year, and might not even be really established until, next year, maybe later next year. I mean, it's going to take some time. Like I said, Flare rolls out this year or the beginning of next year. I don't know anybody who's going to ape in, here, Flare, here's 1 million XRP. If anybody in the chat's going to do that, you're crazy, in my opinion. But I'm not going to give you financial advice. If you trust Flare to give you that return that much, then go ahead. But because none of that's going to be established, that's why I'm going to sell some of my XRP. But not much of my long-term holdings. Most of my long-term holdings will be held through this cycle. Yeah. But I'm watching, and by the way, if you guys can report back to me, I just saw Doppler Finance raise some more money. You guys know I'm not jumping out of my seat to give Doppler anything right now. And I'm watching them. I'm watching others. I don't even want to get into it. Mama said, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I'm not even going to talk about some of the other providers. But you know what I'm saying? So some of these programs are coming about. Let's let them work it. Let them work it a little bit. And let's see what they can do. But I was going to ask you guys, let me know if there's a new product that comes out or somebody has a new offering. Let us know, and I'll be happy to go do due diligence on that platform. I've created a whole new bookmark folder in my Twitter that's called DeFi Due Diligence, and I'm just going over everybody. Doppler, some of these people that I won't name, Digital Wealth Partners, they just did their first quarter of returns on their XRP fund. And so I'm watching them, I'm watching others. And so we're going to see at the end of the day, who's going to be the best service providers? Who's going to bring us the best DeFi? I can't wait for Flare. I've been waiting for Flare for a while, right? So, yep. Andre says, good job, Zach. You said this week. Yeah, I said this week or next week. This week or next week, the case is going to be done. Here we are. Now we celebrate, huh? Cheers. Cheers. No gun, just knife. Thank you for the 10 spot. Sir Zach, the truth is you have been a torchbearer for me. One such as a leader who imparts knowledge, truth, or inspiration to others. Thank you for everything. It is my absolute pleasure. We're not going anywhere. I live for this. I already went live for an hour earlier today. We dropped our update earlier today. I did multiple one-on-one calls today. In the middle of that, I was doing my portfolio review. I'm in the middle of that right now. And I was doing my portfolio review with XRP at 310. And so tomorrow when I go to finish my portfolio review, I am going to update it because my portfolio and my net worth by extension changes so drastically every time XRP goes up by 20 cents. So I did my portfolio review at 310 XRP. Now we're at 330 and some of the other cryptos have popped up a little bit too. So I think I'm just going to... I'm going to go through and take a look at that again and see where we stand. But I'm going to be giving a full portfolio review to the Discord community on Saturday. Yep. So thank you. And guys, like I said, this is every day, all day. I only step out of this to go hang out with the family. That's it. That's it. And even after XRP moons, we're not going anywhere. Where the job's not finished, not even close. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you for the love and the support. We will just be here through this cycle, through the next cycle. There's just a lot that I want to accomplish between now and 2030. I think that by 2030, we will really have entered that new, I don't want to say the words, but you know what I'm talking about. We'll enter that new reality by 2030, where a lot of it is fully implemented at scale. And that will equate to these assets being at much higher prices. Because, yeah, the 4-year cycles are disrupted, but the liquidity cycle is about to top out. And then that liquidity cycle tops out again back in 28, 29 as it brings us into 2030. With everything else that they're trying to push by 2030, as I said, it's really time to lock in. Really time to lock in. Daniel, thank you. Speaking of riddles, Bearable Guy 123 just tweeted, "You're joking me. You're joking me. There's no way." The Bearable Guy just tweeted. Let me refresh my Twitter. Bearable Guy did not tweet. It must have been a fake one. Was it a fake one? I see Riddlers are posting. Riddlers are posting. Oh my gosh, I just saw a meme that said, Hillary Clinton has bad genes. No. Oh goodness. Never a dull moment on X. I'm not seeing it. Let me look up Bearable Guy. Let me look it up. Bearable Guy. You're talking about Brad Garlinghouse, right? Bearable Guy. No, it's probably Arthur Brito, huh? If I had to guess, it's Arthur Brito. The bear smiles. Are you kidding me, chat? The bear smiles? Oh my goodness. The bear smiles. You're kidding me. I gotta retweet this. If you weren't bullish yet, oh boy. I had to retweet it. I said, all is well for the XRP family. Are you kidding me, chat? They thought we were crazy. And I should mention, we are crazy. Now, I got to see which bearable hats I had up here. These are all from the Bearable Guy. Okay, so here's the poker table. This is where we're at right now. Maybe I should be rocking this one, huh? There's the poker table. The deal is done. Maybe we'll have to throw that one on. How about that Perseverance ship? The bear guided us. Wow. The coast is clear. How about that bear by the fireplace, just chilling? Gosh, these flex style patches hit so hard. The detail on these, it's all edged out, like the detail on it. These haven't dropped yet. We got them coming. We got them coming. Which one should we wear tonight? I think I'm going to wear the ship. I think I'm going to wear the ship tonight. Perseverance for the XRP family. Ooh. Ooh-wee. Now we're talking. I can't believe it, folks. The bear smiles. Wow. Send it higher. Send it higher. What did that just send the price of XRP up? 336. 336. The bear tweets, XRP price goes up. It's just that simple. Look at that. Look at that. I'm going to zoom in on the chart a little bit. Let's go 1 hour. Look at that. That's a thing of beauty right there. $3.36. We are pushing back up towards that previous all-time high. Holy cow, we already went up to 337. While I was distracted here playing around, hanging out with you guys in the chat, we went up to 337. Boy, my XRP long is up right now. Big. That's a big one. Daniel, thank you for the super chat and let me know that the Bearable Guy tweeted. Yeah, JVDM, thank you for the super chat. Big things happening behind the scenes, but hold your horses, don't long just yet. New price after the following correction. After ETF next year, 4,000 for money rotation. It's better than the ETF delay. Brother, I'm not waiting. I don't know, brother, sister, I don't know who you are. JVDM, I appreciate the super chat, my friend. I am long. I've been long. And we're going even longer. Okay? We're going even longer. And we're holding on. Jeffrey, thank you for the 10 spot. But no, to your point, though, this is not done. Not even close. We're just getting started. Jeffrey, thank you for the super chat. Zach, thank you for all that you do for this community. What are your thoughts on the Flare network? Well, I did kind of talk about that, right? Ready for it to come live. I'm not going to give them all my XRP when it goes live, but I am looking to try it out. I am looking to allocate, and I think it's going to be one of the best truly decentralized opportunities for us to earn yield on our XRP. I think that the way that they are building it out is truly decentralized. So I'll give them credit on that. It looks like what they're building out is going to be nice in that regard, but we just need it live, and I'm really looking forward to trying it out. Yeah, I'm bullish on Flare too. Bullish on Flare. Jamal, thank you. What's your highest price point for XRP? Well, Jamal, I would just say, you know, for this bull run, I'm expecting a $20 to $30 top for this cycle top. That could be done this year, but I also am giving myself some time into next year because our ETFs are coming late. They're delayed. So within a year after our ETFs go live, I'm expecting a $20 to $30 XRP, which would give us a time frame between now and September, October of next year. And that would really disrupt, you know, the 4-year cycles and potentially just take XRP out of and keep it from really having a bear market. I still think that you'll see some pullbacks and volatility in the form of 40-50% pullbacks. But if those ETF inflows stay consistent from here through the next year, that floor price on XRP is going to be a lot higher. So, yeah, my highest price point is about $30 for this bull run. 30 to 40 bucks. Yeah. Mrs. Claus, thank you for the super chat. Hi, sweetie. Every time it goes up, I say, geez, I didn't buy enough on the dip. I really thought it would go to $2.50-ish again. I was wrong. And I appreciate that because, and nobody beat yourself up. It's so hard to tell. These market makers bled us out, right? These market makers, they took over $2 billion from the futures traders in the past week or so. They killed us. And that's what they took from the futures traders, but they also took from us the opportunity to acquire XRP under $3. That opportunity's gone. I don't know when it's going to come back, to be honest with you guys. Like I know people want XRP to come back down so that you can acquire more. I don't see it coming back down below $3 again. Not anytime soon. I just don't see it. The buy walls are going to form here once again, and the FOMO hasn't even really started. This is what begins the FOMO bull run. Up until now, there really hasn't been FOMO for XRP other than in November, December, and then once again in January when we topped out. There was a little bit of FOMO that came in, but it wasn't a full-blown FOMO rally. So the FOMO is still just going to kick in here. And that's where people are going to ape into XRP at $4, $5, $6, $7, driving it all the way up, approaching, that $10 price target. I firmly believe that we see a strong pullback right before we hit $10. So just prepare for that. Prepare yourself for that. B to G, thank you. Hi, please explain how you are 100% sure ETFs by October. It's amazing, but how? Yeah, so it's the final deadline. And the other thing in the new guidance that the SEC has provided, they want to see the futures trading live for 6 months before they approve the spot ETFs. So we have that live right now. And I don't know what date they're going to go off of. I saw, Dennis, you put out the tweet, and I think I responded to you. basically the Ethereum ETF went live April 6th. The CME Futures went live in May. So I don't know when they're going to say, the futures went really live all the way. If they're going to go off that Ethereum, that was just one XRP levered ETF that kind of gave you some exposure to the futures. But really, they're probably going to go off of the CME date, which was in May. That's when the CME group added XRP futures. And so that would put us into October for when the 6 months would be up. The SEC's new guidance says that they want to see futures for 6 months before the spot ETFs go live. And so the final deadline and then that 6 month timeline brings us to October. So that's why I say with 100% certainty, there's no reason for them not to approve the ETFs. So it's just inevitable that they will. The timing of it, that nobody knows, but you can say for certain that it will be by October because that's the final deadlines that they have to respond. And Salvador Ramirez, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Zach, for all your great work from California. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Thank you. David, thank you for the 20 spot. Appreciate that super chat. Petro Pro, thank you. What are the chances that it is a full moon today? $4 by Friday. Yeah, I think I saw that super chat. Yep. Okay, let's go back to the rapid fire Q&A. Thank you. By the way, guys, all of our community resources are available at zachrector.com. Exchanges, wallets, brokerage platforms like Caleb and Brown. It's all linked up down below. The XRP family merch is available at my shop. Just go to my website, find the shop tab. You'll be there. If you guys are looking to book a one-on-one with me, just go to the one-on-one tab, and then you'll sign up on Calendly. You'll actually schedule an appointment with me. It'll go right into my calendar. You'll get a notification, and those one-on-one calls happen over Zoom. And I would just encourage you guys, if you are wanting to get a one-on-one done, get on the schedule as soon as possible because schedule's filling up. And this is what happens when XRP starts to pick up. People flood into the Discord group, and then people flood in to schedule one-on-ones with me. And there's only one of me. I can only go around so much. We do have a lot of people in the Discord group that are ready to help out and provide a lot of value in there. But for those of you guys that are looking to do a one-on-one, I only open up a few hours per day on my calendar for the one-on-one sessions. And so that books out pretty quickly. And so take advantage of that if you're looking to get on the schedule. Okay. Hey, Jeffrey, thank you. Thank you for the Canadian super chat. Hello from Canada. We're on fire, but so is XRP. I'm locked in. There you go. There you go. XRP rally just getting started too. Thomas, thank you. Thanks for your time and lively rallies. That's what we're here to do. That's what we do. I saw somebody comment earlier. They say, how do you talk for an hour and a half? I said, oh man, you must just be meeting me for the first time, my friend. I can talk all day. That's not a problem. Yep. We just go from coffee to adult beverages, and we just keep it rolling. I told you guys in the live show earlier today, I said, guys, I just poured myself a new cup of coffee, but we will be sipping something a little stronger later. Shout out to Corey. This bourbon's nice. Smooth. XRP at 335. Yeah, wow. We got that daily close above 330. Like I said, what I was watching for was to see if we could flip back 321, and we did. So, Zach, not only should you visit the East Coast, you should move there. Virginia, North Carolina. I was just talking with somebody about that. I said, or no, that was in the live show earlier today, actually. I said, I could do Florida or the Carolinas, even Georgia, and actually Atlanta and the suburbs around Atlanta. That market's correcting right now too. That's a nice little market to go find some opportunity in. Georgia, yeah. See, I'll be honest with you guys though. I'm a big softy when it comes to weather. When it comes to weather, I'm soft as hell. And I've lived in the Pacific Northwest my entire life. So I don't do humidity. I don't do too hot. I don't do too cold. I can put up with some rain. And that's when I escape to Arizona every winter. My goal was to become a snowbird before retirement, and I'm pretty much doing it right now. We were only down in Arizona for a couple weeks this year. Last year we did 2.5, 3 weeks, I think. So we like to come down for at least a couple weeks, but eventually my goal is to come down for a little bit longer. We'll see if that's Arizona. We'll see if that's, Nevada. Maybe we'll do another country even. We'll see where we end up. Florida, I want to get to. I want to get to Florida. Sounds like you guys are pretty crazy down there, but a good time. I got to make it down south too. I've been to the Midwest a couple times. I went to go see my mentor Dan Pena speak in Omaha, Nebraska. But that's about as far as I've gone. Been to Colorado multiple times. Been to St. Louis. Been to Wisconsin. But that's about as far east as I've made it so far. Sedona, yeah, I love Sedona. When we were in Sedona this year, it was one of the most beautiful things that it just snowed up there. So you had the red rocks, right? The mountains and all those rock formations. You had the red rocks, but then they were snow capped. It was so beautiful. But I said, what the heck's going on here? We left up north to come down to get sunshine, and here it is snowing in Arizona. What the heck's going on here? But it actually was beautiful. I love the rock slides. The rock slides in Sedona. I really like those. I remember doing that as a little kid. That was a lot of fun. St. Louis in the house. Yeah, I went to some part of St. Louis. Whoa. Oh. No, my apologies. I never made it to St. Louis. I went to Kansas City. My apologies. I didn't make it to St. Louis. My bad. I meant to say Kansas City. I went to Kansas City. And that town that Dolly Parton runs, what's that? I forget what that is. That's where I was at. Are you still buying XRP? I am not buying XRP. Okay, Dennis. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yep. The thing with the 2Cream, you can't use it, like you said, because it didn't allow you to go short. The 2Cream ETF was only to go long. So I think that you're right that they wouldn't count. They wouldn't go off that date. But basically, the timeline is by October, we'll have our ETFs. Well, are we going to pump this thing anymore or what? Huh? 335? Kentucky Derby, yeah. That'd be fun to go to one of these times. Yeah, no, it's not done. A lot of people, they'll try to downplay this, and they'll try to be negative. I have no more room for negativity. You know, at this point, the case is over. XRP's pumping and holding up so well. Anybody who wants to be negative can just step aside, because I've been here for 6 years, and only the real ones deserve this victory and deserve this celebration and deserve this pump. And if it's not enough for you, that's probably a personal problem. You probably need to touch some grass. You probably have something else going on in your life and you want to take it out on XRP. I've talked about this in the past. I say, you know, guys will have their woman get mad at them and they take it out on XRP. Their lady left them and they come get mad at me. They say, Zach, you suck. I say, hey man, what's going on? Your lady just left you, you know? And I joke, but I'm being serious. People let all this outside external activity taking place impact how they emotionally feel about their investments. You shouldn't feel emotional at all about your investments. Even though I will say it's hard not to get emotional for those of us that rode this out. It's hard not to be emotional after what we've been through. I would be lying if I said I wasn't emotionally invested in XRP. I'd be lying if I denied that I'm in a cult. I lean into that. I accept that. I'm very happy to be a part of it. Tim King, thank you for the super chat. When we all get rich, we'll have to hang out in Nebraska. I'll come to Omaha. I live in central Nebraska. Yeah. So my mentor, Dan Pena, had come to Nebraska to go to Warren Buffett's annual shareholder meeting. It's one of the few things that Dan's actually invested in is actually Berkshire Hathaway. Most of their money's in cash, but Dan does have an allocation to Berkshire. And so they always come, or they try to come every year to their shareholder summit. And so he put on a free event. I just had to fly in. And so, yeah, it was nice. Got to go listen to him speak in person. Next up, I need to go to the Castle, but the Castle seminar costs about $30,000 US. Yeah. And I've tried to hit it out of the park a few more times before I go to the Castle and see Dan, because I know exactly what he's going to say to me if I go see him right now. He's going to call me some explicitives, and he's going to say, you can do a hell of a lot more. I already know what he's going to tell me. And I just hope that I get to go see the old man before he kicks the bucket, because he is approaching 80 years old. But, you know, I know all of his stuff through and through, and I've consumed so much of his content and have been in his program for so long that I know everything. You know, there's, you know, really not that much extra that you get by going to the Castle, other than it can just be kind of a motivating thing. But out of respect for the old man, I'd like to make it on out there to pay my respects to him. Yeah. And just so that he can tell me that I'm a bleep, bleep, bleep. Kai says a couple business partners went to the Castle. Yeah. 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 I can just imagine what Dan would say to me. He would just rip into me. He said, oh, you're one of these little crypto kids. I'd honestly go there just to pay for that. That'd be great. That'd be great. Yeah, thank you, Jason. Jason says, Zach, you have done an amazing job for us, and I can't tell you enough how much you mean to me and my family. Enjoy watching all your content. You look exhausted. Enjoy that drink and go relax with the family. Jason, thank you. That's the thing is, it's hard to pull away from what you love. You know what I'm saying? I did go get packed up for camping. And my wife would tell you that the only reason why we're packed is because she did it all. And that's true. She did do it all. But I loaded it all up in the truck. You know what I'm saying? And, I've got a couple things here. So I still have to pack my my personal bag. But I got everything else packed up in the truck, all ready to roll. Meet me in Thailand in January. Yeah. I tell you what, Stu. Or that was Dennis. Dennis, yes. I'm trying to get over to Asia. Now, the thing is, I want to visit South Korea. I would like to visit Singapore. Thailand too. Philippines looks kind of fun as well. But there's such a big XRP community over there that I think it'd just be a lot of fun. I also want to go to Japan too. Yeah. So I got, and we'll take the kids over there and stuff too, but we're just too young with them right now. So it's just kind of one of those deals, my traveling isn't going to be as extensive right now just because I have so many little ones. Yeah. I don't know. And the wife says we need to go back to Disneyland. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what for. And actually, I joke. I throw shade, but honestly, I can't wait to take the kids back to Disneyland because I am not into any of that stuff anymore. Like, I watch Tom and Jerry. That's what I grew up watching, Tom and Jerry. So the Disneyland stuff, I wasn't into it at all. Couldn't care less. But now that I have the kids, and I already took my daughter to Disneyland once, and she was too young to even remember, really. But now I want to go back again because I got the kids, and so yeah, I am excited to go back to Disneyland actually. So yeah. Tom and Jerry. I know. I got my kids watching Tom and Jerry. They like it. Yeah. We don't let our kids really watch like the high stimulation stuff. We try to keep it pretty low key on that. And so, Tom and Jerry's pretty nice in that regard. Some of the old classic shows, the old Disney shows, the old Disney movies, definitely ain't watching the new silly stuff. So yeah, we like to play a lot of that, Tom and Jerry. What was it? Clifford the Big Red Dog. You remember that one? That was a classic. Watching that. And lately, my son is obsessed with anything that rolls on wheels or any piece of equipment at all. Any piece of equipment, really. Whether it be a car, a tractor, a mower, or a plane. He's obsessed with it. So now I found some series on YouTube of farmers cutting fields and baling things and doing things around the farm. I found these compilation videos of excavators on the job site. And my son doesn't watch much TV. He can only last about 15, 20 minutes and then he wants to go play. But he'll sit down and watch the excavators. He'll sit down and watch the tractors. He absolutely loves it. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Mrs. Claus, thank you. Dennis says, Zach, meet us and write off your LLC. That's the thing. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about writing off my travel because we'll go conduct some business. I still got to come up with the funds to get there, which I don't know how much it is. The nice thing about where I'm at is I can go hop on international flights up in Vancouver. And Vancouver flies all over the place. Now, I did just see Alaska Airlines is doing direct flights from Seattle to Iceland, London, and there was one other territory in Europe, maybe. I like flying Alaska. I have, a whole their whole program and everything. So I like flying Alaska because they fly out of where I live at in Seattle. But they just added some international flights there. That's good. And there's some decent international flights out of Seattle, but there's a lot in Vancouver. And so I actually have a pretty close airport that does fly international flights all the time. I haven't looked up how much it would cost to go over there. I mean, I understand it's very cheap, a lot of the things once you get there, but yeah. Mrs. Claus says, "Oh, you're in the Pacific Northwest, so am I. I'm building my North Pole in Leavenworth when XRP goes up, up, and up. Just bought a little bit more right now, just in case it doesn't drop much. Not waiting. Listen to one of your viewers who said, buy now." Mrs. Claus, thank you. Nobody here is going to give you financial advice, but I did buy some a few days ago. Thankfully, I got some at 301. Isn't that funny how quickly things change? You think to yourself, man, should I buy here at $3? Is it going to go lower? I could try to get back in at $2.95, 5 cents cheaper. And just like that, boom, 36 cents higher. And you're at a $3.35 XRP. Just like that. Now you're kicking yourself. I love Leavenworth. We were just in Leavenworth for right around Christmas time. Our first time. This was my first time ever going up there around Christmas time, and it was a lot of fun. The only problem was it was a madhouse, absolute madhouse. I've never seen traffic like that in Leavenworth, but I guess it was peak time and it was on the weekend, and so yeah, it was pretty nuts in that regard. But it was a lot of fun. The kids loved it. Kids loved it. Yeah, I really like that drive. That drive up there is beautiful. Almost as good as Highway 20. I like Highway 20 a little bit better to make it to the east side of the state. You get to pass by Diablo Lake. You get to pass by, it's just a more scenic drive, I think, than taking Highway 90 over. But yeah, I was just talking with my wife too. We like going to the east side of the state. We went to Winthrop when she was pregnant with my daughter, and we did that for my birthday. That was a lot of fun, and we want to go back to the east side of the state. It's a lot of fun over there. Tyler Durden, thank you for the super chat. Hit me up, Jupiter Skate Show. Love your positive energy. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. It's not much to be down about these days, not much to be negative about. Even though some people still don't believe that the case is over, that's okay. But guys, I think I am going to wrap it up here. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm reading some of your guys' comments. You guys are hilarious in the chat. Absolutely out of control as well too. Just reading some of your guys' comments. Okay. Absolute pleasure being with you guys tonight. Thank you so much for stopping by. We will be back tomorrow. And like I said, this weekend, I'm going to be dropping a full portfolio update, full review of my entire portfolio. And that's going to be dropping on Saturday instead of our Discord weekly call because I'm going to be out of town. So get tapped in with us if you want to see what I'm holding, the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's a few losers. There's a few duds in that bag too. It's going to pay me to have to admit that I got in on. There's a couple duds. But full portfolio update dropping for the community this week. And then next week we have the Crypto Estate Planning with Mark Kohler. Come join us in the Discord family and then get signed up for that event. It'll be exclusively for our Discord community Friday, August 15th at 3 p.m. Eastern. Great time to get tapped in with our community. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. I appreciate everybody for stopping by tonight. And if you haven't already, let's make sure that we like this video before we sign off. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hope everybody enjoys this pump. And God bless all of you guys that have made it this far. The case is officially over, and you will never see another video from me talking about the XRP lawsuit. I'm out of here. God bless you all. Thank you so much.